All right, so on this episode, we get to talk to my boy Xander, who I got to meet, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and he went from 2 million followers around sort of the design editing niche, literally let that go to zero. Like he stopped posting on it and is now killing it on TikTok Shop. We're talking about 50K, 100K months, which is absolutely insane. So he dives into his strategies, why he's got multiple profiles, how to get started, how he thinks about hooks, and so much more. And so make sure to tune into this episode. Again, this is the How Creators Make Money podcast, where we just love to dive into all these unique ways that creators are making money. And a little disclaimer here, you might hear some differences in like Grace's voice or her cutting in and out. We were just having some Wi-Fi issues. Don't worry, the content is still amazing, and make sure to just stay till the end because we dive into all the future stuff that Xander is doing, and it's pretty dope. Xander, it's been a minute since we've last talked. How you been, man?
I've been great. I've been great. I've been loving what I'm doing lately. It's changed so much in the past year. I wasn't even doing anything remotely close to TikTok Shop or fitness a year ago, and now I'm doing both, like all I do hardcore. So, um, yeah, it's been fun. But I'm doing content, as you know, I've been doing content creation full time for like about 5 years. So just in the past year, it's totally shifted and changed a lot just because of new features on TikTok and on social media. So. Yeah, but I've been great.
That's good, man. Yeah, I think we became friends like 3, 4 years ago. I want to say. You had like almost 2 million on TikTok around sort
hmm
of like crazy edits and things like that. And then I remember talking to you. I want to say at VidCon. Was it last year at
Okay.
VidCon? And you're like, I want to start getting back into content because you kind of took a hiatus, and that's when you started to go crazy on TikTok Shop. It was like, yo, Justin, I'm making a grand. And then it became, yo, Justin, I'm making five. And then, yo, Justin, I'm making 10. And then the numbers just kept on exponentially growing. And I'm like, yo, there's no way that this is true. And then you would show me the account. And I'm like, yo, this is actually insane. Talk us through a
hmm
little bit of that journey of like, why did you take the hiatus originally? And then what got you interested at that start of TikTok Shop?
Yeah, so all through, I think honestly, life, my biggest weakness for sure is getting bored. That always happens. Every time I find success, I kill it at something. I do it for a while, and then I'm like, that was fun in the beginning. I was super passionate about it, but now like I don't want to call it burnout because it doesn't even take that long. Like I feel like burnout is like years and years of the same thing, and then you get burnt out. But me, it's like I find success, and then I'm like, okay, what's the next thing, right? Which is again, I guess could be a strength. But for this specific situation, one of my biggest regrets was in 2020, in that in within a year, I gained, as you said, about 2 million followers on my account, and for whatever reason, I found that success, and I just got bored of it, and I should have kept going. I should have pivoted the content and just changed it up, but I didn't, and I kind of got stagnant. Then in 2022, a company reached out to me. They wanted me to do their social media. They flew me out to California for a week, and I chilled with them, and I was like, this is so cool. It's like a startup app, and they wanted me to do all their TikTok, Instagram, everything. So I was like, okay, this is a new cool thing that I can try to find success in since I'm kind of bored of my own account. So I went to them. I grew their account to like, I think I was there a little less than a year, and we got over 100,000 followers. Got a bunch of like viral videos with them. And then again, I was like, okay, I did that for a year, and then I got kind of bored of that. And then I was like, let me go back home and work on my own stuff. So I came back home, started trying to build my editing back up, my editing page back up, and then it just but I mean, I think the passion wasn't in it. Like it was a couple years old now, the whole style and everything. And again, I should have shifted the content, but I tried to keep on doing what worked. And it just never, first of all, I wasn't that consistent with it, but then also it just never took off again as well as it did in 2020. So then I went probably a year or a year and a half of kind of like not exactly knowing what path to take. Um, and TikTok Shop. I remember last year, and by the way, too, since the content had slowed down so much, since I left my job at in California, like I wasn't working for them anymore, I was so down bad financially. I was like, it was so rough, and that's also where kind of like the weight I started gaining weight because I was eating.
How rough are we talking about? Because, like, again, you were at 1.7 million followers, right? So I would imagine the brand deals were coming in, not necessarily, maybe not necessarily like super consistently, but when they would hit,
Mhm.
I would imagine they would hit, right?
Yeah,
Like, how
definitely.
down bad are we talking?
Well, I mean, before I went to California, I was fine. I was all right. I wasn't that the bills were paid with a little extra on top, and the brand deals were nice even back then when it was popping, but it wasn't very consistent. I didn't know how to. I was just kind of waiting and like opening my inbox every day, right? I didn't know how to find those brand deals or anything like that. Um, but then when I again for social media, I found unless you build like a sustainable passive type of income, like it's really what you put into it is what you get out in my experience. So when I stopped putting a lot of effort into it when I got bored, everything just kind of plateaued. While I was in California, I got a couple brand deals here and there, but I wasn't posting very consistent on my own account. Then when I got back, and again, I was on salary while I did the social media for that company in California, but when I moved back, I think it took I don't know, it was like 6 months or so, and then I was paying rent. By the way, also when I was in California, I negotiated with the company that they were paying my rent here too. So they and my rent over there. And they were a food company, so they were paying for my food. So I really didn't have bills, which was pretty sweet. And of course, I didn't bring my car. It was San Francisco, so I just biked around there. So yeah, so I was like, and then I was on salary. So then when I came back here, I was chilling for a while, but I would say like 8 months of pretty much no income. Like I tried to get my content back up and going, but like I got like one brand deal in that 8 months. So yeah, I'd say 8 months of no income. I was very down bad. Like we're talking like I was eating like ramen, hot dogs. Like I was still paying the actually not even like I'm not gonna lie. My mom helped me like for a few months while I was while I was not making any money and I remember it was like 6 months into like helping me a significant amount. She was like, "This is it." She's like, "Next month I can't no more. You're gonna move back home if you need any help, right? Or if you need more help." And tell me how. That same week, I'm at the gym. I accidentally opened TikTok, and the first video on my For You page is this kid being like, "By the end of this year, your goal needs to be to make uh, $30,000 a month." He's like, I would say 10K a month. I would say 20K a month. But nowadays with TikTok Shop, 30K a month is really doable. And I saw that and I was like, what is he talking about? 30K a month is doable. 20K is too easy. Like, what does that even mean? And so I followed him real quick, finished my workout, went home, watched the rest of his videos, and he of course had a Discord community where he taught TikTok shop and stuff. And I joined it and it was $60 a month. And again, I was so down bad back then. I didn't have the money to spend, but I was like, yo, like this guy he was convincing. Like he convinced me fully. I joined his course, which people there's so many online courses nowadays, so when people hear online course, they're like, okay, it's a scam, it's this, it's that. All I know is I've joined one in my life and I joined his and my first month started making TikTok shop videos. I made 4K in profit my first month ever on a brand new account, by the way, because I didn't want to post TikTok shop videos on my 2 million follower account. Like I didn't want to like sell out or like be too addy or whatever. So I made new accounts. Back then, you didn't have to have a 5,000 followers. You could just make it with 0 followers. Made a brand new account and literally first month 4K. Second month 30K profit. It
That's
was it was
insane. That's
insane.
insane.
It was crazy, yeah. So, anyways, that's it was really out of desperation, and then thankfully that popped up on my For You page, and then not only that, but also I took action. Like immediately I saw that, and I was like, okay, maybe that was because I was so desperate, but I was like, this has to work. I'm gonna make it work. I have this content experience. Let's see if the whole TikTok shop thing works, and it friggin' did.
So let's dive into that a little bit more, right? Because people see TikTok Shop a bunch. A lot of people probably hate it, right, when they see that little orange emblem on a TikTok
Yeah.
video. But when people say, "Oh, I started doing TikTok Shop," it's and that first month I made 4 grand. Second month I made 30 grand, right? That's what you said, right? Second
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think people realize how many videos you were putting out during that time, right?
Yeah.
And like I know obviously because we're friends, but like can you walk us through what that scale kind of looked like? Because I don't think people realize how much effort it actually takes to make money on TikTok Shop. It's not like, oh, I just throw up a video and it goes viral, especially at the beginning.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Well, here's the thing. Everyone's first question always, not first, but maybe first five questions is how many videos do I have to post a day? That's always what people ask. And I get that question. Like, obviously, that's human nature to want to know, like, what does it take to find success? Sure. But it also just bamboozles me at the same time because when I heard about TikTok Shop over a year ago, I wasn't like, oh, like, I wonder how many I have to post. It was like an obsession to the point where, like, I was like, how many can I post? Not how many do I have to. It's like, how many can I, right? Um, but at the same time, right now I have TikTok Shop so automated that I can pump out so many more videos than back then because back then I overthought a lot and I was like, I have to make this content good and or perfect and I have to, make it entertaining and all this stuff. I didn't really understand TikTok Shop, which we'll get into in a little bit, like what I mean exactly by that. But it took a lot longer to make a video than it does now. So I even back when I started, when I was more obsessed and more on fire for it, I still was posting less than I am now. But I was still doing like I had two accounts and I was doing about I would say on average about 2 videos per day on both. So 4 videos total on those accounts. But this is also what I tell everyone too. When I first started, my first probably 4 or 5 months, 10% of my effort was actually making videos. 10% of my time was taken making videos. 90% of it was watching YouTube videos. Like literally all day long when I ate lunch, when I ate breakfast, dinner, whatever, I was watching YouTube videos on people's success stories, what works, the do's and don'ts of TikTok Shop, what are trending products. That's all I was doing. So even though I mean 4 videos, I don't know, maybe to some people that sounds a lot. To me, I'm like so with TikTok Shop nowadays, I'm like, dude, I right now I have 3 accounts, post 3 times a day on each, so that's 9. And I've had phases where like I was about to take a vacation and I would do like 15 videos in a day or double 18 videos in a day because I wanted to have videos while I was gone. Um, but back then, for me, like 4 videos a day was a lot because I've never done that type of output before. Um, and yeah, so that's all it was. It was just an obsession of output and yeah.
So those videos actually work. They're not like super scammy, I guess, right? When it's like you need to do this to make money on TikTok, right? I think a lot of people look at those and might just swipe away. How do you
Mhm.
figure out, or like what strategies in the back of your head do you go through to understand which ones to actually pay attention to versus, oh, this person's probably like kind of full of crap and let me just
Right.
swipe off
Well,
and find the next one?
just like every trend ever, like there's always like a money making money like there's always like random side hustles that pop up that really really do work and then they become oversaturated. People start selling courses and then, you know, the good thing about TikTok Shop at that time and like the course that I joined, it, he was one of the first to make a course on TikTok Shop, right? So it wasn't oversaturated and it's much more saturated nowadays, but it's still only a year in, so that whole argument of people were like, "Oh, is it too late? Is it oversaturated?" It's not. But I'm just saying back then it was even less saturated to the point where like he was like one of maybe 3 courses that existed on for TikTok Shop. Um, and again, I didn't know. Like I had no idea, but the way I thought about it was like if I waste the $60 to join, it's like okay, that's $60 that would suck, especially because I was very down bad at the time. But it's $60 at the end of the day. Like if I wait, I told myself I was like I'll try it for a month, and if it doesn't work or whatever, then I'll stop. And thankfully, the first month first of all, even before I found that success in the first month, I joined this like the Discord community he had, and I was looking at these winning member wins was the channel, and it was a bunch of members being like, "Oh, I just made $5,000 last week. I just made $1,000 today, whatever." And I saw that, and like that was enough for me. But it's funny because like even back then when I was telling my friends before I found success in it, I was telling people about it. I was like, "Yo, there's TikTok shop. People are making this much money," and literally they were telling me they were like, well, how do you know those aren't fake screenshots? Like, how do you know this? How do you know that? They were just so doubtful, which I get because again, there are a lot of scams on the internet. I understand being skeptical. You should be skeptical to an extent, but again, I really attribute my success to like the full. I was sold. I was like, this is real. This is happening. I'm gonna give it my all. I don't care. Everyone's like, oh, but what about this? What? I'm like, I don't care about the what ifs. Like I'm gonna make it happen, and it worked. So I don't know. I don't know exactly to answer your question of like how do you know which ones are real? You kind of don't, but you also there's like a fine line with being too skeptical and then being like asking a good amount of questions and making sure you're not getting scammed. But again, $60, like if I get scammed out of okay, whatever, $60. It's not like a $4,000 course. I probably would definitely be skeptical if that was the case.
Yeah, no, I get that. Again, I remember from the beginning, you were all in on it. Whenever we would be
Hmm.
talking about it, you'd be like, "Nah, bro, it's all about TikTok Shop," and I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah.
stop it! Like, I don't want to hear it." And I think I mean, I even tried it for a little bit, right? I was hitting you
Yeah.
up for questions around it and everything. But go ahead.
I also like it's funny too, before I found success, there was two friends of mine that I just thought of that are like always like doing like these side hustles and always like grinding. And it's so funny, before I find success, before I made like a single dollar, maybe I made like $100, maybe it was like the first few weeks I started, if that. Um, and I called two of my friends and we sat down or sat down, it was on FaceTime, but it was like an hour long. I was like, listen, this is the thing I'm telling you. I was like, I literally get nothing out of telling you this. I wasn't trying to get like affiliate with nothing, literally nothing. I was like, this is the move. I'm telling you. It's funny, like both of them didn't start it, but one of them actually about a month ago, she finally started. And by the way, I talked to her like over like a year and a half ago about it. But again, when people don't see the success right away, like, but now that I'm doing well, she's like, okay, let me hop on it, right? So, which is fine, whatever. But she's already killing it a month in, and I'm like, dude, imagine if you started when I talked to you a year and a half ago. Like, yeah. But again, I mean, she just started, she's killing it. So everyone who thinks it's too saturated or too late, it's literally not. It's so early.
Yeah, I think I think the best indicator for things like this is when people tell you, like, bro, what are you doing? But you still have the mindset to keep grinding like 10, 12, 15 hours a day towards it.
Hmm.
I think that's when you know that you're actually committed. I think a lot of people say that they're committed to something, but actions speak louder than words, right? And
Hmm.
I know for a fact, again, whenever we were talking during the beginning phases of this and you weren't showing us the results all the time, you were like, you were always in on TikTok shop. I'm grinding, I'm figuring it out. I'm watching this video, yada yada yada.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I was on fire. I was like, oh, it was the first time actually that I mean the gym, I've been weightlifting for like 3 years and I've always loved it. And it's been my thing like first thing in the morning, I eat breakfast and then I want to go to the gym just because I'm always looking forward to it and it makes me happy and whatever. When I found out about TikTok Shop, the first month, maybe 2 months, was the first time in years, like probably 2 years, that I woke up and I didn't want to go to the gym the first thing. I literally just sat here at my desk and started watching videos, looking at products, all this stuff. I was so like obsessed with it. And it was really cool that like that again, it wasn't like an intentional thing like I tried like, oh, it was a little bit like I'm gonna make this work, but then also just like I know it will work. Like I was just like I'm just gonna do it. And I was on fire for it for sure.
I mean, man, you're making me want to brush off the dust on my TikTok shop account again and start running it back. But let's dive into it, right? A little bit of the strategy of TikTok shop, or how does your mind kind of go when you're thinking of even helping out your friend, right? That started again a month ago.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's funny, like I kind of have talked about it a little bit less to friends because again, I've talked about it now for like a year and it's like everyone's like, oh, that's cool, and then they don't start. So at this point, it's like, I don't try to like sell it too much, I guess. But in reality, I still think it's as good of an opportunity as ever. And I brought up my friend this past month. She's killing it, but like there's probably been six six different friends that I've like um helped out and got them onto TikTok Shop and they're all making significant income all the way from like a year and a half ago. Like my friend, I remember I think my second month in after I made like that 30K, my second month, she was like, "Okay, I want to do it." And I helped her out for her first like 4 or 5 videos. I made them with her, and her first week she had a $700 day, made $700 in the first week of her trying. And that was a year and a half ago. Then, like, I mean, more recently, towards the end of last year, which was now, I guess, 7 months ago, but my cousin started coming over every day, and I would help him with videos, and he would just watch me, and he would help me out a lot too if I needed, him to hold the camera or whatever. And he was just absorbing information. He started TikTok Shop after he probably he was probably watching me do it every day for like a month. He started it, and I don't even his third month, maybe he made 24K in his third month, and he did it off of live streams. He was just selling products on live, which is pretty cool. I don't do too many live streams, but that's just another side hustle of TikTok Shop. So my cousin has killed it. I have another friend. She grinded on it for like a month and a half ago, pretty consistently. Or sorry, a month and a half. This is like 6 months ago, pretty consistently for a month and a half. Then she moved to Europe. Obviously, uh, TikTok Shop's only in a few countries, and not in the country she moved to. And she was making passively just in the work she did here. She was making like $2,000 a month passively, not making a single video for probably 3 months straight, not making any videos. So I mean, I have story after story after story of people just absolutely, and again, not just a year and a half ago. We're talking throughout the last year and a half, pretty spaced out evenly. People just starting, finding success with it.
Yeah, I mean, and some of the numbers that you're putting out there are life-changing numbers, right? Like you put two of those months together, you've got the average salary of most people in the U.S., right?
Straight
Let alone
up.
if you put it for 12 months, right? So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the beginner. I've tried TikTok Shop, so I know a little bit about it. But like, what is the strategy behind a good TikTok Shop video? Is it just literally quantity over quality? Because a lot of these TikTok Shop pages, at least that Grace and I have even talked about on this podcast, it's like they're posting 5, 10 times a day, or they have multiple accounts where they're posting usually 5 to 10 plus times a day throughout all of the accounts, similar to you with 9 a day. Is that sort of the strategy of like, yo, just throw as much against the wall and like see what works for you?
Yes.
Or is
So
there
it's definitely
like, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, yes to both. They're definitely it's definitely a volume game. You need to post like a ton of content. But then also there of course is strategy as well, but honestly, it's not even that much different than like just organic, natural, normal content nowadays. Like I see all my entire For You page is just how to grow on social media, TikTok shop, strategies, this and that. And half the people on my For You page aren't talking about TikTok shop. They're talking about how to the creator fund or how to get brand deals or how to grow your account in general. And so a lot of people on both sides, TikTok shop and just regular content, they say that volume is king. And there's people doing non-shop videos on TikTok, 5 to 10 videos a day is like normal. That's like what they do. Um, so I wouldn't even say it's that much shop is that much different than normal TikTok. Like it is in a sense because you're selling something, but as far as volume, like I heard to grow on TikTok nowadays, you need to post every single day, 5 times a day, right? Or three minimum, people are saying too. So yeah, it definitely is volume. But then yeah, I mean, there's definitely a formula to it too. Like I don't think it's a coincidence that I was able to help like 5 or 6 friends. Like they would come over, I'll kind of give them a script and tell them, give them some advice, and then they would make money. Like that's not a coincidence. I can't be lucky for 6 different people. And not to mention myself, I have 3 accounts, and all three have made a significant amount of money. So it's definitely not luck. There definitely is a strategy, and again, just like organic content, it's the hook. The hook is what matters on TikTok Shop. If you hook them in the first sentence of what you're saying, they're gonna watch the video, and if they watch the video and you're a good that's another thing. It's sales at the end of the day. So if you're a good salesperson, that will also help you as well. But at the end of the day, the formula for TikTok Shop is everyone says like the three things that make up a hook. I say there's a fourth one. I made it up. But the three things that can make up a hook are the text. You need a text hook, which is text on the screen. You need an action hook, which is action happening in the video, whether that's you walking through a door in the beginning or getting into your car. You need some sort of motion, some sort of action happening. And then three is the verbal hook, what you're saying in the beginning of the video. So those are the three that everyone talks about. For me, I call it the sound effect slash nonchalant hook. And that's basically where you start your video with doing something out of frame. So it's kind of like action, but like one time it was an accidental thing. I was filming like 15 videos a day. I was like, dude, I'm so burnt out. Like, how do I even start this video? randomly. I don't know. I didn't think about it like that. It just came to me. I dragged a chair behind me. So I started the video talking, and then for no reason, while I was talking, I just grabbed a chair and dragged it in the background. So visually, the audience sees it and they're like, "Oh, he's being very casual." I'm not like perfectly in the center, like perfect lighting and like this is produced. No, I was casually like, "Oh, it's like I'm FaceTiming a friend, but it's also like I'm not even caring too much about who's seeing. I'm just like in my house rearranging the furniture or whatever it is." So I tried that hook and it killed. So now I'll do I don't know, like I said, I don't have a name for it, but like the nonchalant hook. I'll start a video and then like I don't know if you could hear that, but I'll like tap the desk or something where something's happening in the background where subconsciously the viewer's like more locked in, like, oh, something's happening that I need to pay attention for. It's all subconscious. It's all psychology. Um, but yeah, so that's the formula. It's the hook. You gotta come up with those four parts of the hook, and that's what it is. Also, obviously, find a good product, which I think you have. I think I saw you're gonna ask in a little bit, but yeah, that's the hook.
No, exactly. So let's break that down, right? When you're looking to create a new video, is it product and then you start going through the hooks and things of that nature? Or is it, I have a good hook, now I'm thinking about the product and then creating the video?
Yeah. It's definitely product based for sure. You have to remember that you're selling to another human being. Like people get so caught up in like a TikTok video, TikTok shop video. I have to go viral, the algorithm. It's like at the end of the day, there's a human at the other end of the screen and you're talking to them. And now with TikTok shop, there's another layer where you're selling to them as well, right? So what I do is find a good product. The way that I do that is I think about what a human on the other end of the screen would want to buy. And my favorite story about this is that um I think it was Thanksgiving last year. I was at my family's house and my family was just hanging out talking and all of a sudden they were like my uncle was like, "Hey, like that almond nut milker." So there's a product where you can like put some almonds in like a blender type thing and it makes almond milk from it. And you can make it with like 5 almonds and water. And he's like, "That doesn't really work, does it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it does." And then my aunt was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Okay, there's this nut milker where you can make almond milk with like 5 almonds." And dude, my family talked about this like TikTok shop product for like 30 minutes straight. They were just talking like, "There's no way that works. What? Show me the video." They were so fascinated by it. And I hadn't found success with that product yet. Like it didn't go viral. I didn't make money off of it. But after I saw my family, real life people talking about it for 30 minutes straight, I was like, okay, this product is clearly fascinating, clearly has potential. I went back home, took that thing off the shelf because I haven't used it in forever. Because usually I'll make like 5 videos about a product. If it doesn't work, I'm like, okay, on to the next product. But again, since my family was so fascinated by it, I was like, okay, let me just make another video. And I think my second video into it made like 500 bucks in one video just from selling so many. So that's how I pick a product. I think about what would a person want to buy, like what could I sell to another human being who's watching the video, and I go with that.
How many products do you think that you've sold or you've made videos
Oh,
on
dude,
TikTok over the past year?
how many
Do
products?
you
I
still have
wish
that room of just like stuff in there?
dude, I know. I tell me how yesterday I deep cleaned literally yesterday. I deep cleaned that entire room, threw out half the packaging, threw out some products and stuff like that. So it's like it looks like a normal room now. But literally yesterday or 2 days ago, it was like just stacked to the roof with boxes and products and stuff like that. Now I fit them all into like one-ish closet. But realistically, I probably have, I don't know, like 300 maybe, all of which were free too. So that's another perk of TikTok Shop. Like, yes, you can make money, but I also have vacuum cleaners, multiple of them. I have shoes, I have clothes, um, all from. I'm surprised this shirt is actually not TikTok Shop, but usually I'm mostly wearing TikTok Shop clothes.
How do you like balance quality and quantity, and what's like your process? Do you like wake up every day, have new products, you make 3 videos, you like batch make your content, and what is like your strategy to making all these videos every day?
It changes so much. Um, right now, uh, it's basically just every single day, no matter what, 9 videos a day. When as far as products go and like how many videos I make that day for a single product, like that just varies so greatly. Sometimes I'll have 4 or 5 products that come in that day that I have to like make videos about. So, or sometimes it'll be a product that like has been popping off a lot recently. I'll recreate videos about that. So my process changes so often, but as far as quality versus quantity, realistically, like you like a lot of people think there's like a new term on TikTok Shop. It's like bottom of funnel, where they just talk about sales and it's just so spammy and like they're horrible quality videos and they're literally they'll start at like 50% off today, da 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 da, like immediately talking about the sale, not even trying to give a hook, not even trying to make entertaining content. It's just like hopefully they've seen this product and they've wanted it and this 50% will sell them, right? So there are people doing it like that, and bottom of funnel, I've seen a lot of people make a good amount of money. Um, but to me, that's just very I don't know, it just clutters up a platform that I like and that I find valuable and like I find entertaining, and so I don't really like to do that. So but then at the same time, TikTok Shop is not necessarily for quality or for entertainment. Like you are trying to sell at the end of the day. And especially if you're trying to sell, I've tried the whole method where I like tell a funny story that's like entertaining and like make a cool creative video and then try to sell the product. It doesn't usually work. Like even if it gets a lot of views, it won't get sales. So there's a fine line between like those spammy type of videos and then also like um, just regular sales types of videos. But to answer your question, it is kind of hard sometimes to find that fine line about quality and quantity. Um, but at the end of the day, how I think of a quality TikTok shop video is just something very organic that feels like you're talking to a friend on FaceTime. So that's how I think about quality. I'm like not immediately, oh, buy this because of this reason. It's like, no, like I'll start my video with something more personal. Like, imagine one of my biggest videos was a karaoke machine, and I said, your kids on Christmas Day are gonna freak out when they see this karaoke machine. Imagine they're and like kind of like painted the picture about Christmas morning. So it technically, I mean, it depends how you look at it. It's not really quality in the sense like it wasn't like that entertaining or like you're not really gonna share the video for any reason, but it's at least I'm talking to the audience member and they feel like they're being engaged with and not just like sold to, if that makes sense.
Is there a product that you did not think was going to sell well that absolutely killed it? And then vice
Yeah.
versa, like a product that you're like, oh, this is one's going to absolutely destroy. And then it actually like didn't generate anything. And if you could provide numbers, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so the karaoke machine is a perfect example of that. Not that I didn't think, I obviously would never request or buy a product that I didn't think was going to sell. Like, I always think they're going to sell, but after 5 times of posting the product, if it doesn't sell, then I'm like, okay, maybe not. So this is a good example of that is the karaoke machine. I started promoting it. I saw it first of all, in right when I started. I think it was like April or May, really early on of last year, maybe month 2 or 3 of starting. And it was this mini karaoke machine that has a little voice changer. It makes your voice like a chipmunk voice, and you can Bluetooth your phone to it, so you can put a song on and then sing along with it. It has 2 microphones, so you can do duets. So I was like, this has everything. This will go viral. Like this is a product that low key I want. And secondly, that I can see other people. It could just see a bunch of people buying it, right? So I got it around, like I said, last year, and I made a video, probably 5 videos. None of them took off. They all had like 200, 300 views, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like I still believe in the product, but like sometimes it's like the video I saw of it was like this girl like she's probably I don't know in high school, and she was like walking around her house like annoying her family with it. So in my head I was just like, okay, maybe like she could sell it, but me like a grown man can't sell a karaoke machine. That makes sense, right? So I was like, that's not gonna work, right? But then fast forward to October or something like that. I was about to take a trip to Europe, and I was batch making like I was batch con making I was batching my content, excuse me. Um, and I was doing like 15 videos a day. And I was so burnt out of these products. I was like, dude, like I've done this product 100 times. This product, like, what can I do? I saw the karaoke machine. I was like, you know what? It didn't pop off like a few months ago, but I literally don't know what else to make videos about. I'm just gonna make it about this karaoke machine. I made it. The video was 17 seconds long. It took me maybe 4 minutes to make. Um, and then that video in the next month and a half, because again, it was October, so November, Black Friday, December, Christmas coming up. It's a great Christmas toy. I didn't think about it like that. I just thought about it. I was like, again, I was like, I guess I'll make a video about this since I've been making so many videos. And that video made me like $50,000, one single karaoke video. So that was a perfect example of something that I was like, I tried and I was like, okay, whatever. I gave up for 6 months and then I brought it out again and boom, popped off.
Yeah, that's epic. How do you decide like what kind of products you want to include on your TikTok shop? Is it ones you like or ones you see trending, creator search insights, or like how do you decide?
Yeah, we kind of went over this a little bit, but it's all about you have to remember you're selling to another person, right? You're not just like trying to make a viral video. You can't think of like, oh, I need this to get 10 million views. No, it's like think about the person on the other side of the screen and sell to one single person. So, yeah, I was telling this story about like last year in during Thanksgiving. My uncle brought up this product that I've been posting about, and my family talked about it for 30 straight minutes. And I hadn't found success before that, but then I was like, if my family's talking about this for 30 minutes, like that would make a perfect that clearly people are interested in the product, right? So I went home, made a bunch of videos about that product. I would have never touched that product again, by the way, because again, I kind of didn't find success with it. But then I started posting it after that, after Thanksgiving, and then it took off. I mean, nothing super crazy, but one of the videos made me like $500, which was probably like um oh, 60 sales maybe of this product that I again would have never touched again, but just because I saw my family talk about it so much, I tried it. So that's exactly what it is. It's like I think about the person on the other side of the screen when I see a product that first of all I want. If I want it, then I'm like, okay, it worked on me, it's gonna work on other people. But then also like I think about it where, is this a product where because there's products that I would buy but won't necessarily make a viral video. Like the other day I was making like these drill bits. They were like more narrow, deeper drill bits so like they won't slip out of the screw while you're drilling them. Super cool product that like I bought for myself, but I was like, this is not a product where you see it and you're like, oh, I need it right away. Like those are the best types of products, is that the ones that sell themselves. That's why the karaoke machine did so well, because I literally started the video with the karaoke machine right in the middle of the video. I put my phone down and I was like, your kids are going to love this for Christmas, especially because it has a voice changer. And like the voice changer was the chipmunk voice. And so it was right in the beginning, right away, you hear my chipmunk voice and it's hilarious. And right off the rip, you don't care about that it has two microphones. You don't care about that the battery is really good. You don't care about nothing because you saw the voice changer. That's what the product does. So boom, you want to buy it. So those are the best products, is the ones that sell themselves right from 2 seconds um into seeing it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think I came in right when you were talking about like making 5 videos a day because like my Wi-Fi. Hopefully it stays back. I was just like really stressed out about the Wi-Fi stuff. I don't know if you mentioned this before. I'm curious to know like what does that affiliates or do percentage of sales or like what exactly does that come from?
It's 95% commission for sure. And then TikTok is all automated, of course. So once I get a sale, I'll see that immediately on my dashboard. But the thing is, it'll say estimated commission, because if the person cancels their order or if they return their order, um, you don't get that commission. So every day when you see it estimated, that's just hopefully if the sale goes through, that's what you get, right? But most of it is from commission. There was a strategy I did about probably like 6 to 8 months ago where, because that's another thing with TikTok Shop, your email is flooded, absolutely flooded. Like before when I was doing brand deals, I would get some like BS companies and like just kind of spam-ish email. Nothing compared to TikTok Shop. It's like every single day I'm getting probably 100 emails, and most of them are clearly Google translated, like spammy. Usually it's a product, but it's like a crappy product that has zero sales, and it's crazy. So what I did about like 8 months ago was I typed out a template and I said, I get an influx of emails every single day. If you want me to move your product to the top of my priority list, um, I have a fee structure that you can do that. And so I think I was doing like $250 a video. And keep in mind too, like, for a brand deal, that would be very cheap, but like when you're pumping these videos out in like 2 minutes, that you don't have to ask to be approved. You don't have, they rarely want tweaks done. You literally just, they send you the PayPal, and there's no contracts either. They send you the PayPal, you post, and then you move on, right? So I was doing that strategy for a while, and it was pretty good. Like, some companies would send me like their product, and they would want 3 videos, and I would charge around, like I said, 250, so it'd be like 750 for like I get like 20 minutes of work. So that was really worth it. But the thing was just going through my emails, it was just so confusing, first of all, because I was getting hundreds a day, and then I was like, wait, was this person? And it was just very confusing. For $250, it wasn't as worth it. Um, so now it's just pretty much commission based, but I was doing that flat fee structure for a while.
The payouts are 60 days in advance or in the future, right? I
Honestly,
think.
at this point, I don't even know, to be honest, because I thought technically it was when the person gets the product, 2 weeks after that, because they have like a 2 week window that they can return it, or maybe it's 30 days. I kind of forget. Um, but so some products, if they're like, especially if they're in the US, like they ship out the same day, the person will get it 3 days later, and you could potentially get paid like a week later, or whatever it is. But sometimes if it's shipped internationally, they might not get their product for like 2 weeks, and then the 2 weeks after that. So then it could be like, so I've waited to get paid out before like a month and a half or 2 months, right in the beginning. But now it's just like you get a deposit every Wednesday, so I don't really know what the deposit's from, or like what products or what videos. Like it just kind of just pours in, so I don't know exactly that answer.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is my sort of deduction of what TikTok Shop is. Since we're all kind of like I think we're all around the same age here. We're too young for the rise of the blogging age, right? Like that kind of happened way before us. That was all those bloggers made money off of affiliate sales basically. And they made a fortune, right? All the people chilling in Bali, all these internet marketers, right? That was the first wave of affiliate marketing. I think TikTok Shop is that next wave of bloggers, so to say. People like yourself, Xander, because the money that you're talking about making, right? And who knows how long this will last, right? It might continue going for the next 5, 10, 15 years, who knows? Hopefully it does for people like yourself. But like when you see a gold rush like this, you got to go hard. And you're going hard. It's making life-changing money, not even just for yourself, right? You're helping your friends and family do it as well. It's absolutely insane. But when it comes to affiliate stuff, can you break that down a little bit more, right? So let's just say a product like the voice changer that you're talking about. How much does something like that sell for? How much do you make per sale? Just so that the people that are listening, they kind of get it a little bit more when it comes to the business side of it.
Yeah, definitely. So usually they have TikTok Shop, there's standard commission, right? So the company or the seller lists their product on TikTok Shop, they can set the commission that every creator gets. Usually back like a year ago, there were some companies doing 70% commission. It was crazy. They just wanted to be on the top of TikTok Shop. And like 40% was pretty normal, 50% here and there. And I'll say the average like 20-25%. Now they've dialed back a ton. I think because it's more mainstream, and like I don't really know why exactly they dialed it back. But now the average seems to be around 10%. 15, 20, and really good products like 25. Um, so that's the standard commission that you can see if you're in the TikTok Shop program. You can see every product. You click on the product and you can see what the commission is. But there's also ways you can message the company directly, say, "Hey, I've done a lot of sales for you guys. Can I get increased commission?" And then they can on their back end just increase your commission like that. Then there's also agencies now that where you can the agency will reach out, and it's not their product that they're promoting, but it's an agency that links the product to the creator, right? And so the agency will get like a 5% increase commission, but now they'll approach you and say, "Hey, we'll give you a 4% or a 3% increase commission to do this product." And they'll give you the 3%, so you're increased, but they keep that 2%, that difference. So that's how they make money. So you can get increased commission in those ways. Also, TikTok now is dumping so much money into TikTok Shop to where like a lot of products I'm promoting, if I do well on them, I don't know if it's automated. I'm sure it is, but randomly one day it'll say increase 10% commission from TikTok. So TikTok specifically is paying that commission just so I can focus on that product more. So there are multiple ways to get increased commission. The best way is reaching out to the company. And that's the karaoke machine, for instance. I was their number one seller last year. So I did in one single month, I generated $500,000, $500,000 in sales for this company. So they obviously reached out to me and they sent me like it was kind of funny actually. So a lot of like the top TikTok shop companies like Goalie, a lot of supplements, things like that, they have these campaigns to where it is ridiculous amount of money that they're offering you flat rate on top of the commission. So Goalie specifically, I think their commission's like 25%, which is already a crazy high percent. But then on top of that, they're like, if you do $600,000 in sales, you'll get six. Like it doesn't even make sense. They're losing money, but they're like the cash prize for 600,000 in sales is $600,000. So they will literally all that money you generated, they pay you cash reward, and then also you got the commission. So they're literally
They're giving out
negative.
like Lamborghinis and stuff like that, right? At
That's
some
what I'm
points
saying.
or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. At one point, it was like the top prize for one of these was like a million in revenue. If you generate that, they give you 1,250K. So it's like a quarter million more than the sales you did. It's ridiculous. And like they're giving away Miami condo, like you said, Lamborghini, all these things. Um, so, and that's for like $500,000. Like they send you 500,000. It's crazy. So when I did $500,000 for this company, obviously it wasn't no goalie or wasn't no top company on TikTok Shop, but they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, we want to send you a prize. What's your address? We want to send you like to our thanks or something like that." And I was so hyped because I was like, "Yo, like $500,000. What if they send me a car? Like what if they send me like whatever?" The box gets to my house and it's like this. It's a huge box. Like it's huge. Definitely not a car size, right? But it's a big, heavy box, and I was like, dude, there's gonna be a bunch of iPhones, MacBooks, like a bunch of iPads in here. It's gonna be sick. I opened it up, dude. It's a bunch of like Chinese snacks. Like it's like there's like a whole there's a whole freeze-dried goose, a whole goose freeze-dried in there. There's like a bunch of like noodles and a bunch of like different like snacks and stuff. And I was like, and there was a card that was like, we want to thank you so much. Like here are some like Chinese delicacies for you to try out or something like that. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm thank you for recognizing the sales, but yo, this it's like a bunch of snacks. It's crazy.
That is hilarious. I mean, that is very Chinese of them, like or Asian of them to do. That's top tier. Um, I would have
But
loved that.
also for that company too, um, I think most of last year when it was going crazy, I only got like 17% commission from them, which I think the standard was 15. Oh, 18%. So the standard was 15%. They offered me 18%. But now I haven't been posting about them and they offered me 25%. So now I have 25% commission on that karaoke machine. So I'm about to start advertising that again, but like that's a whole 8% of like the $500,000 that I didn't get, but that's now increased. So that's another thing too. If you do a lot of sales for a company, they'll straight up increase your commission because you're making them money.
Yeah, that's another what 40 grand. I think it is off of the
Yeah,
top
dude.
of my head, right? Um,
Yeah.
all right, let's go back to the videos. When you're looking at past videos, are you looking at analytics at all when it comes to this stuff now, at least, or is it literally just I'm throwing up 9 videos a day and what works works at this point?
The only analytics I look at, and here's the thing too, I am all about the quality of the content. There's so many people on TikTok that talk about shop and they're like, you have to look at watch time, you have to look at this, look at that. I mean, yeah, that might help to like dissect that and analyze all that data. For me personally, I'm all about the content. It's proven in my journey, it has been proven that if I make good, entertaining content, it will get sales and it will make me money, right? So I'm not worried about I don't know. There's so much analytics and things that like I can't control. Like, I can't control so much of that, how much gets pushed out. Because there's some videos that people watch through and they don't get pushed out. Like it just too much I can't control. So all I look at, the only analytics I look at personally for shop specifically is sales to view ratio. So a really good sales to view ratio is like 1,000, one sale and 1,000 views is like gold. Like that video is probably gonna pop off. I have a couple videos recently too. Like one video got like 70,000 views, one sale. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is crap." So I still believe in that product, so I'm still posting it more, but I'm not going to give it too much more effort because that product showed that it could go viral, but people are clearly not interested. Whether that be the price or maybe the shipping is too expensive or maybe people actually just aren't interested in the product. I don't know the reasoning behind that, but people aren't buying and 70,000 people bought it, right? Or maybe there's sometimes where it's like maybe I just didn't do the sale correctly, like because you can make an entertaining video that people will watch through and it'll get pushed by the algorithm. But if I don't sell it, if I'm not a good salesperson or I don't say the right words in that video, it might not get sales. So there's so many different factors. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, I just look at conversion and conversion sales to views. That's what I study.
Love that. Are there any misconceptions about TikTok Shop that you kind of want to?
Yeah, I mean, the misconceptions at the end of the day is that like, what if it doesn't work? Because it freaking works. Like the misconception is like, oh, it's oversaturated. Oh, what if I can't do it? Like, dude, it is so far beyond normal content creation. Because like in the past, like before Shop and even now to an extent, although way less now. Let's talk about like just a few years ago. Like it was like a lot of if you're good looking, like you'll pop off, right? That's like kind of all it took. Like obviously there's some people popping off with talent that were funny, this and that, but like at the end of the day, like looks mattered so much. Um, and now to an extent, like they do too. If you're super good looking, like you might get a following easier than others. However, with Shop, people people don't relate to like supermodels and super attractive looking people. Like that's not really relatable. What's relatable is like a father with a grown out beard that's like 50 pounds overweight. Like that's the top type of seller on TikTok Shop. Not necessarily father, because honestly, mothers, women are converting so much more on Shop, and then also the layer above that is mothers specifically because those are just the people that buy on that shop online, and no one can sell to other mothers like other mothers can. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like super average people that are just absolutely killing it. Stay-at-home moms, dads on their time off after work, they'll post some videos, and it's just people you look at, you're like, how honestly, like I don't want this to sound like negative, but genuinely, the more average you look, the more success you're gonna find on TikTok Shop. Like seriously. Like to an extent, like beauty products, I guess if you're very beautiful, like you can maybe sell. But like at the end of the day, like if you look and it's online, you can see the top 10 sellers on TikTok Shop every single week. It's just very average looking people and they're killing it. So that's the biggest misconception is like, what if it doesn't work? Like, dude, I I literally shook my old roommate, we made a deal. I shook his hand on it, and I said, "Listen, if you post every single day on TikTok Shop, 3 times a day, I forgot what it was. It was like 3 or 6 months or 4 months. It was a certain amount of time. If you post every single day for 3 weeks, he always talks about getting a hair transplant. So I'm like, I will buy your hair transplant if you don't make that money yourself. So basically, at the end of this 6 months or whatever, you're gonna have a hair transplant no matter what if you post every single day." Um, and yeah, so that's how like certain I was, and that's how like pat
Did he
not
make
was
it?
am. He didn't post all the days. That's what I'm saying. Like if that doesn't tell you how people just don't, I don't know what it is. Like people just don't believe in it, or like they need that instant gratification. I don't know what it is, but like I mean, that's a crazy story, right? Because I said I would pay for it, but then there's also, to me, it's the same amount of craziness when I'm talking to my other friend. I'm like, hey, like, I guarantee you'll make 30K by the end of this year, like in a month. if you do this. Like I'm so certain on it. But yeah, people, I don't know. I don't know what the obstacle is there, but people just don't do it.
I mean, I honestly feel that TikTok Shop is an effort thing. If you have like you don't necessarily need to have pretty privilege, let's call it that, right? But you need to have like 25% charisma, I feel.
Right.
That's like the only thing, right? And you can't really teach charisma, so to say, but you can teach 25% of it. And I think you can learn that through if you spend enough time on whether it's just scrolling on TikTok or watching YouTube videos about it or whatever it may be. But I think that's literally the determining factor on TikTok Shop is like, can you get to that 25% charisma? And are you willing to post 3 times a day, 5 times a day, whatever that might look like? Again, at the beginning, it's gonna take a long time, but at the end, like you said, you can throw up a video in like 15 minutes now.
Right, right. Definitely charisma and like relatability and like personality is definitely key. I would say the best way to do that is just practicing because no one is comfortable on a camera. Even me, like when I start, it's funny, I've been doing content full time since 2020, but my beginning shot videos from 1 year ago are so bad. They're so, and not because they're a bad shot video. It was like I was so awkward and so like salesy and like robotic and like it was horrible. But the only way I got better at it was by doing it every single day. And now people are like, dude, you're so natural. I didn't even know this was a TikTok shot video. I thought this was normal content. Like, because I talk normal and I'm really used to it on camera now, even when I'm selling a product. So it's just repetition, getting your reps in. Just keep output, output, output.
A question I had, I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but you needed like 5,000 followers to get TikTok Shop. How would you recommend someone get started from 0 to 500 and then to get TikTok Shop?
So there's two ways to get to 5,000 followers. One is buying an account. I think technically that's against terms of service, but I have the Discord that I was in has a guy who, and again, he was through the Discord, so he was like pretty reputable in my eyes. Um, and he sells accounts, and I've bought all my friends have started. No one's grown their own page. They've all bought an account from this guy, like through me, and all of them have succeeded, killed it, made a lot of money off of these bot accounts. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that scam, and there's also people can buy followers and stuff, so it could be like a bad account. So I'm not suggesting you do that. Um, the real way to do it to grow to 5,000 followers is to grow yourself. And I've done this 3 times, no joke, all 3 times that it's happened within a week or two maximum. It's it's I don't want to say it's easy, but like if you have the formula, just like we talked about with shop videos, like there's a formula to going viral and to getting views and to getting followers. And if you follow that, like it's very obtainable to do. My 3 examples, they're all 3 different examples. One is my main page that now has 2 million followers. I got to 1,000 followers or five. I think I got to 10,000 followers in like the first 2 weeks. And I my very first video got 500,000 views, and that was me in my mirror, and I said, "How to make your Instagram spicier, part one." And then I explained how to make a cool little Instagram photo edit. And that was me just again, the hook is pretty good. How to make your Instagram spicier. Like it's not like how to take good Instagram pictures. It's like how to make it spicier, right? So immediately you're engaged, and then I say part one. So okay, I'm in early. People like to be a part of something and be the first to hear about it. So and then again, it was very fast paced and whatever. And I didn't even know what I was doing too much back then. But very first video that I ever posted on TikTok. Well, technically it was second. I deleted the first one, but like the second video ever posted on TikTok, 500,000 views. So that was me delivering value. And my second page, once I built that up, I built it on, or my first page I built on like photography tips, special effects, editing. I basically super high quality videos. So what did I want to do for my second page? I was like, let me see if I can not edit, not do any of this extra work because my videos were taking like 6 hours to make one TikTok video because it was a bunch of editing. So I was like, let me just try if I can talk to the camera and go viral. I make a brand new account and I told a dating story. It was something, it was not even, it didn't really happen. Like it was, I told this story as if I went on a date. I started the video off with, last night I went on the craziest date ever. I took her to the sushi restaurant and so I told this whole story and at the end of it, It's like she thought she was a mermaid. So that was like the whole thing. It's like I dated someone who told me she was a mermaid and really thought it. First video on this brand new account, 2.6 million views. 2.6 million views. I got 10,000 or 5,000 followers in like friggin' 2 days, 3 days. Crazy quick, right? And that was just, and then I repeated that, by the way. I grew that page to like 14,000 followers in like maybe a month because I just kept on telling dating stories that would go viral. Um, Boom, like really quick. And then thirdly, this recently, I made a TikTok shop advice page where I just give TikTok shop tips, tricks, how to go viral, whatever. Because it's so hot right now that people are trying to get on TikTok shop. That video, I think my 19th video on that page is when I got over 10,000 followers. So it only took 19 videos, which for me, those 19 videos were spread out over like 6 months because I wasn't very consistent with it. But I could have done those 19 videos in like a week. You know what I mean? So I fully think that that page also could have grown, you know, in a month or less to 10K. So point is, it is so it's hard to get a million followers, 100%. Like it's hard to keep that growth up, but 5,000 followers, like it is so obtainable. So take one of those three things. The first one, like I said, like how to make your Instagram spicier, right? That's like it's a how-to page basically. Then the second one is a funny, story time, relatable, entertaining. And then the third one is also kind of a how to, just give advice. It's not even advice which makes it goes viral. It's just like my passion when I talk about TikTok Shop. I'm like, so as I'm talking about it right now, I have a lot of passion behind it. So it's like whatever you're passionate in, even if like whatever, it's like knitting or cooking or whatever, make videos about that passionately and you're gonna get 5,000 followers in no time.
Wait, I'm so curious with these dating stories of a mermaid. Are they like true stories or are you like making them?
Well, so the whole purpose of that second page was to go viral, right? So I was like, okay, what is a type of content that will go viral? And I thought about it for a couple days and like brainstormed ideas. I went onto Reddit and I searched like awkward dating story, funny dating story, and I saw this story about like I don't even remember. It was like a headline. I think that's all I saw was like I took a girl out and she thought she was a mermaid. And so then I went in and scripted an entire video based off of that. And yeah, so it was like I would say like half was not my story, it was like someone else's story, but I told it as if it was my story. And then half was, completely made up. And then again, like probably 4 videos later, it was so funny. I was just like I think I was in the shower thinking about like a funny dating story. I'm like, what would be funny? And I just built out this whole entire story too of like this girl that I used to date, like randomly we would wake up and she would be like sniffing me, but then like I would look at her and then she would be asleep. And I was like, what the heck? Like why is she like sniffing me? But like maybe it's in my head. And then I started to realize she would like smell her like dishes when she would like do the dishes, she would smell them after. And I'm like, this girl smells everything. And then one day, again, a whole complete made up story. I was like, one day I set up a secret camera, and bro, if I did not record this, you would not believe me. But look at this, and I showed this footage that I recreated with a friend, and she was like seasoning me with garlic powder, and I'm like, she's seasoning me right now. She's gonna eat me, and then the video just ends, right? But it's like it's just like what? Like you just dated a girl that like seasoned you in your sleep. Like what? It's just crazy. And then that video went even more viral than the mermaid thing. I think it got like 4 million views or something like that. But yeah, that's all it was. It was just me just telling just fake. And that was completely in my head in my shower. Like I just thought of that story randomly. I was like, let me just tell it.
I think this is all to say that you are just an amazing storyteller, right? Whether it's getting a page off the ground or trying to sell stuff on TikTok Shop, right? I know that we've got like a few more minutes left, and you're kind of moving or doing a new venture now with your own Discord channel. Can you explain a little bit about what the mindset is with that? And obviously, we've got the Discord star with Grace here as well.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, so at this point, dude, I've made like thousands of videos, TikTok shop videos specifically. And again, with the boredom thing, like I'm just done with it. I'm just like, I don't want to make videos anymore. So naturally, I'm like, okay, what is the next step? What is the next business venture that I can do? And it's definitely, especially after making this TikTok shop advice page, it got 10,000. I mean, I think I'm like 12,000 followers right now. And realistically, like the consistency started about like maybe 2 months ago or so. And I grew it so quick. And so many people are DMing me about, you're like the only person I would buy a course from. Please, like, if you do mentoring or one-on-one coaching or whatever it is, so many people are asking me about it. So I'm like, okay, let me try to do what these other people are doing. And like what really hooked me in the beginning too was that guy's Discord community and course and all of that. So now I'm trying to do that. And yeah, I just think that's where the next step is. I think also like one, I think the money, as we know, like online courses and stuff, the money is so crazy on those. But then also like I got a DM the other day from a mom and she was like, I was about to give up. I kept on watching your videos, kept on trying with TikTok Shop based on your advice, and she's like, I'm about to quit my full-time job because of your page. And that was like so crazy to me. And then I think about my own story about how I was about to have to move back in with my parents. I was living off of ramen noodles, hot dogs, and gaining weight and not eating healthy and not, it was really hard. And just that one single TikTok video literally changed my life. Um, so, obviously the money's good, but then also like the potential change, like life change that can happen for people. And then also my friends too. Like I said, I have 5 or 6 friends I've put on and made them a significant amount of income as well. My cousin's doing it full time now. He's building out a studio where he live streams products and stuff. And like, it's just so cool to see it. I think the potential is just getting started. And so that's what I want to start doing is coaching, mentoring, um, through Discord and a course.
For your course, so like asking you about like how to start TikTok shop and coaching, do any of like exist like similar communities exist that you like to hang out in? Or for your Discord server, like what's your process of starting it? Like right now, or have you started it yet? What's been happening in it? What kind of questions are you getting from people?
Yeah, so right now, honestly, the main obstacle is the course part. It's such a big thing to take on, and I think that's one of the most important parts. I think the community is super important too, but people are following my page, my advice page on TikTok, and like it's helping people because it's so in depth and like I think I coach and I teach TikTok shop in a way that no one else does. I think a lot of people look at like analytics and watch time and products and they look at it, those are important things that you should look at, but at the end of the day, it's all content. It's all how you're delivering yourself on camera. It's how you're talking about the product. It's your hook. It's so much more psychology. That's my big thing. Because even when my 2 million follower account, I was making editing and special effects, but I was talking about psychology. I've always been interested in psychology, and so that's what TikTok Shop is. It's sales. It's psychology. It's human interaction. So that's what I teach really well, and I think I need to, if I want to deliver maximum value in this Discord community, I think I need to have like a thorough, in-depth, built-out course that is like step one. Like once you join this community, watch this course, and it's nothing crazy. We're talking like maybe 2 hours total of videos, maybe an hour and a half. But it's just like my exact process. This is how I grew now three TikTok shop pages to over 6 figures each earning. How I taught my friends to do it. Like I even want to add a video series where like a friend comes over who's never done it before and I'm like coaching them through it so you can see through the eyes of someone who's never done it before. So that's kind of what's like my obstacle right now because it's such a big thing to do, like do a whole, again, it's only an hour and a half, but like I'm in my scripting process right now of like not necessarily scripting but like breaking it down with bullet points, sections, topics to talk about. So I keep on saying I'm going to be done in like a month with it and then I can launch. Because other than that, I think the Discord portion is pretty good. Because when I launch the Discord, I'm just going to be in there all the time doing live streams, reviewing people's content, um, talking one on one to people or like in the chat rooms and stuff. So at that point, it's just going to be actual just participation on my end. But as far as like the prep for it, I think it's just the course that I have to kind of get done.
So it's like people in your course fitting into the Discord. You start with the course, and then on the Discord, would you like make it like membership based, so people have to go through your course first, or it's like a top of funnel to your course?
Membership based, it's all in one. So like you basically a lot, and this is not new. There's a lot of TikTok shop coaches doing the same thing, but it's like $50 a month. And what you get is the Discord community and then the course as well. So yeah, you could pay $50 for 1 month, take the course, and then leave, cancel your subscription. That's fine. But that's where I'm going to really add value to the members when I'm inside the Discord because I literally every day for hours, I'm going to be breaking down people's videos, giving them advice, every day also, or every week, sending the top products, products that I suggest that have been working for me, um, things like that. So I think they'll come for the course, but then like they'll stay for the Discord community.
That's so awesome. So it's like a $50 a month base price, and then for that price, you get the access to the like 90-minute, 2 hour course, like a pre-recorded course, and access to the community where you can get feedback from you and everyone else too, and like intel on like what products could do well.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I think that like since it is like a side hustle or like a income based server, like I feel like that like again I think you missed this part, but when I started a year and a half ago I was like broke like again like surviving off of ramen and hot dogs, right? So I saw this video and this guy's course was $60 a month and I really did not have that at that point, and I put it on my credit card and I was like I'm just gonna do it for 1 month, see what happens, and it completely changed my life. So I think that that's the type of thing that like price almost doesn't. I mean, I think $50 is a low price point, but it's like $50 to potentially literally change your life, help you quit your job, financial independence, financial freedom. I think it's so, I don't know, I think it's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. That's so awesome. So what's your ETA for launching the course?
Again, it's just finishing the course, and I really think if I just powered through it and gave it my all, I could finish it in probably a month. But I've been saying that now for like 2 months. Yeah. How is can you tell me how yours is structured a little bit? Like what do you do?
Happy to. Yeah, so I run Design Buddies, which started as a Discord server when I was in college 5 years ago. And I wanted to TLDR is like I wanted to break into design. I was an engineering student, and I felt like other design communities out there were really like intimidating. So I just made this Discord server, and then about 150,000 people joined our Discord slash newsletter. And then 2 million people followed our Instagram account. And so like I kind of treat my Discord server like, and now I'm running this full time with 4 full-time employees, and 2 co-founders too. So we built up a distribution, and now we're building products and services for that audience. And these happen to be UX designers, early career in the US, wanting to get their first job. So we have our Discord. It's like a free server. Newsletter's free as well. It's top of funnel to our high ticket item, which is our cohort, 10-week cohort that costs $5,000. We also do a bunch of like events, conferences, career fairs, sponsored posts, affiliates, brand deals, and recruiting too. So like our business model is like we keep the community free, but we monetize through like B2C, like high ticket items, but also B2B through recruiting and brand deals and stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like our Discord was like more top of funnel. There could be different ways. We're also experimenting with like membership. That's like a middle of like kind of mid-tier item they can get for like more personalized career advice to funnel to our high ticket item and different products we're experimenting to. But yeah, that's our that's Design Buddies in a for business side.
Gotcha. See, but the thing is like now it's top of funnel, but when you first launched it, that's all it was, right? It was just the Discord community. Right. So I think that's a lot. That's like kind of what I'm thinking as well. Like I have next steps for sure and things I want to funnel people into eventually, but like right now, it's like just getting that initial community beyond the just a follow on TikTok because people follow and don't even think twice about their followers on TikTok sometimes or the people they're following. But a Discord, something you're actively, took action towards joining, I feel like is just that much more tight. So that's definitely the step one of this for sure for me.
Yeah, and collecting their emails too. Because sometimes people mute the
Yeah,
Discord
okay.
or delete the app. Yeah. Have a newsletter.
Okay, interesting.
Own the email. Yeah. That's how we
Gotcha.
do.
Okay.
And I noticed like for like brand sponsorships, emails are the most expensive one. You can like make the most money through newsletters.
Oh, okay.
They pay
Very
the
cool.
most.
Yeah, email always
Interesting.
converts the best.
Hmm.
Um, like if you can find a way during your onboarding for the Discord or whatever to capture their email, even if you don't send the newsletter, right? It could be super important if you ever want to start a newsletter or if you're like, hey guys, like thank you for joining the Discord. I'm actually launching another product. blah blah blah. Like you can send it via the email and get more probably clicks on it than Discord.
Mhm.
That's so interesting. Yeah, it's funny because for me, email, like me personally, my how I use my email, it's like that very few emails have ever like converted for me, like me actually taking action to joining something or buying something, whatever. Like I just don't look at my email like that. But that's the same exact thing people say when I tell them about TikTok Shop, and I'm like, guys, there's so much money to be made. They're like, I never buy TikTok Shop. I just scroll past it. I'm like, I don't care about you, like one person. Like I don't care about you, what you do on TikTok Shop. I'm telling you, there's hundreds of thousands of people buying things every day. So like, I definitely relate to that. It's like for me, the email thing is like such a foreign concept. Like, what the heck, people buy things through email? But I mean, I fully believe you. I think that's super interesting.
So I think of email as like people go there with high intent to take action, just like LinkedIn. People want to go and buy stuff. For a cohort
Hmm.
and for Discord, people on LinkedIn are most active. Versus, I feel like on like TikTok Shop, people are like influenced to buy stuff. But imagine TikTok like scrolling like for to entertain, or I guess to buy stuff too. But for like education content, like ready to take action, ready to buy, you're in that mindset of like I'm ready to take action in my email. So highly recommend emails too.
Right. Okay, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will consider that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I know that we've gone a little bit over, but I do have, before I ask my last question, at least, I don't know if Grace has another last question. Where can people find you, Xander? And especially, I would say like your businessy TikTok shop page.
Yeah. Um, Zan Harris 2 on TikTok. Um, and then Zan Harris 2 on gmail.com or at gmail.com is the email for that for anything business wise. But yeah, or Instagram right now. I'm kind of pivoting a lot to fitness content, and that's what I want to start pivoting my editing and special effects page to with 2 million followers. I don't see that transition happening easily, but whatever. I'll probably lose a ton of followers, but like that's what I'm into right now. So I'm want to start making fitness content there. And then I'm also on Instagram as well, doing fitness as well. But that's another layer too. Another reason I want to do my the Discord community and kind of like really be an agency, pretty much a TikTok shop agency, is that I'm also working on a supplement product that I'm going to be putting on TikTok shop. So I think that what if I have a pool of 500 creators, let's say, on TikTok shop, once I launch that product, I can send them all free samples and then really push it from there. So and it's supplement. I don't want to talk about too much. I don't have it fully trademarked and everything yet, but hopefully in the next 3 months, we're gonna launch, and I'm pumped. That's why it kind of really fits into the fitness niche that I'm doing right now. And then once I have the agency, I'll have like the distribution for it. So yeah, there's definitely a lot coming up.
That's so exciting. So it sounds like you seem like you started as like an editing content. You made up to 2 million followers, and then you went over TikTok Shop, and now you're pivoting to fitness content.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So I just need to, stop getting bored and just stick to one thing. But fitness is like a lifelong thing, so you know what? I think I'll be in there for a minute.
What are your fitness goals?
My fitness goals right now, well, first, all growing up, I was super skinny, super thin. In high school and even in college, my first like 3 years, right? So I started going to the gym, um, because I wanted to like gain mass, and I didn't stop for like 3 years gaining mass. So I just kept on, I was bulking, but I was eating anything and everything, like no diet plan, no counting calories or protein goals, nothing, just eating. But I was getting stronger, so I was like, I have pictures from me like a year and a half ago, like shirtless photos that I'd taken. I'm like, oh, I look big in this because I was used to being skinny. So when I took pictures of me looking big, I was like, oh, I look great. Finally, some like my cousin encouraged me to like start cutting because he started coming to the gym with me, and he was losing weight, and he was like, dude, you need to start cutting. I was like, no, bro, I worked so hard for this mass, for this weight, like I don't want to be skinny again. He's like, dude, you're not gonna be skinny, you have muscle under there, you just need to shred down. So I dieted for like 4 months, from February to June, yeah, 4 months, and I lost like 25 pounds basically. Um, night and day difference. Like I feel a billion times better. I look 100 times better. And I thought, again, I'm so used to being skinny. I was like, I don't want to lose weight. Like I felt like I would look bad. But no, now I look at pictures a year and a half ago and I was like, dude, who like it was crazy. Like I thought I looked good, but in reality, no. So it's just I don't know. It's crazy how you see yourself at any given time is so different. And now like I look great, but then there's sometimes where like, well, I do need a little bit more mass. So right now I'm lean bulking. So I'm trying to gain as little fat as possible, as much muscle as possible. A lot of people just bulk and just gain fat and muscle and then cut down, but to me, I like being lean a lot, so I just want to continue this same body fat percentage while gaining muscle, which is a really long process. It takes like realistically like you gain a pound a month, and I want to get like 20 pounds up, so it's gonna take me almost 2 years to like get to where I want to be, but that's part of it. That's why it's a forever thing.
Yeah, fitness a lifestyle.
I love
Yeah,
it,
it
man.
is
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
I was showing Grace a little bit of your transformation before you jumped on for the call, and it's been like I said, you look great. It's been an amazing sort of journey that I've been keeping an eye on as well from afar. Um, and kudos to you, dude. So my last question is, let's imagine 100 years from now, right? You've accomplished everything. You've gotten your lean shredding goal, right? You've killed it absolutely on TikTok Shop. Your supplement brand exploded, right? But you look on the shelf and you've got this autobiography of your whole life's journey. Let's imagine up until this day, today, right? What is today? July 9th, 2025. You turn the page, it's the name of another chapter. What is the name of that chapter?
Starting now?
Yeah, exactly. So tomorrow or today, I guess, is the start of that next chapter. What is the name of that chapter?
Oh man. Um, this is such a tough question. This chapter is gonna be called Winning Streak. Winning Streak because
Winning streak.
uh yeah. Charlie Rocket, I heard that him talk about winning streak on a podcast in the past. And he basically says like you can only win in life if you look around and notice and take note of your winning streak. So he's like, and this could be something small, insignificant. It could be oh, you're at Starbucks and the coffee was cheaper than you thought it was going to be. Boom, winning streak. Oh, you go to work and there's donuts there, but you decide to not eat the donut and just to stick to your diet. Boom, winning streak, right? And then once you start noticing those winning streaks here and there, you start to create winning streaks and make better choices and just keep, you know, continuing on your winning streak in the future. So, and it kind of plays into my not getting bored thing. Like I'm on a winning streak right now. Let's not get bored. Let's stay consistent and keep going.
I love that, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, keep
I thought you were
winning.
gonna name it "Let's Not Get Bored," but I
Yeah.
love winning
Yeah,
streak.
I almost said I literally was thinking that, but then I was like, that sounds so negative. So I'm like, how do I flip that? And so
Mhm.
winning streak was it.
I love it. I love it. All right, Xander. Well, I appreciate you for jumping on. It was great to catch up because I know it's been a minute. And we'll catch you guys all next time.
Yeah, thanks
Peace.
so much. W's in the chat for
Awesome.
winning streak. W's in the chat.
Let's go.